from beyond our dimension, this is the JeffMara Podcast. Here's Jeff.
Hello, everybody. Happy Saturday to you. And if you're on the other side of the planet, happy Sunday to you. Our apologies for starting late, but better late than never, right? So it's Saturday. It's been a busy week. I've got my boba tea, and I'm ready to hang out with you guys. We've got 3 people here. So let's see who's here and get started. And actually, before I get started, I finally put together our new mug. I was telling you about our new mug, and unfortunately, it's showing it sideways. I don't understand why it's doing that. Yeah, I guess if you click on it, let me click on it here and probably look at it in the store. You could see it proper. You do. And see, it's Love Each Other, designed by our very own Penny Sutton. And you don't see JeffMara anywhere, but you see a little JM in purple. That's our JeffMara symbol. So, and all right, so that is that. Today is your day. Let me put some background music on. So today is your day to come and share with us and share your experience. Let me get back to the podcast so I can see where you guys are here. If I need to look down. All right, so if you want to share with us, today is your day. And the link to join us is below. You can either click on the link or you can go to Zoom and click join a meeting, and then the room ID and the password are there. So let's get started. We want to keep going here and see who's here and what's going on. Lakshmi is here, also known as Vicky. So we'll see what's up with Vicky. And we got Robin and John. John is out there. I think hopefully he's got some UFOs for us today. I wonder if Vicky is here. Let's see. Because I started late, he might have gotten confused. Wait, there's his mic. Ah, here he is. Vicky.
Are you able to hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. How are you today?
Yeah, I'm fine. Last week I have been to on Ayurveda tour, campaign tournament. Thought of sharing about that.
Where were you again now? Where were you last week?
Ayurvedic camp.
Ayurvedic
camp. I was touring Kerala and Sri Lanka.
Oh, wow. Sri Lanka. Nice.
Yeah. And I was also on palace tour last week.
Well, I started late last week, and I figured you probably just thought I wasn't going to stream or something. And we tried to put you on, but then then I noticed that you weren't there, so we just kind of it just kind of gave up basically. So what do you got going on today? Looks like you got
today just I am in female dress.
All right.
So so I have
you have a very interesting outfit today. How did you, that looks very creative.
Yeah.
You want to show it to us?
Yeah, it looks quite pretty.
Ah, it's cool. You are one creative person. And I love how it says love your secrets.
Oh, actually the aliens give me ideas for all my creativity. They are behind my creativity. Yeah.
Do they give it to you in downloads?
Yeah, in meditation. And I also have a connecting room to connect with the aliens in my home.
Really?
So I connect in the room. Yeah.
Oh, that's great. That's Nicholas there, Sir Nicholas?
Yeah, just this poster. The mannequin will be ready by in another 1 hour. A new mannequin.
Oh, wow. What do you mean be ready?
Yeah.
You mean you're still working on it, or is it like, did you glue it together or something?
No, it's on the basement and I have to get it. One person will come to help me. It's a sitting posture mannequin.
I have to admit, I watched one of your videos on your YouTube channel. I think you're frozen. You still there? Uh-oh. I need to go do something before it freezes because he's freezing and I didn't turn this thing off again before we start freezing like crazy. So you're just going to see a blue sky for about 20 seconds. Where I'm at, and if I have to take off the Wi-Fi extender when I go live during this live thing. Why? I don't understand that, but I mean, I record with guests all the time and there's no problem. Maybe somehow when I load up with people it gets messed up.
Yeah.
Anyways, we'll hang for a second because I see it's like locked up here on YouTube. It says chat disconnected while trying to reconnect. So
Okay.
You're back now. We're all back. All right. So Vicky.
Yeah.
Where'd you go? All right. So
I just went.
I went and watched one of your videos, and it was a dance video with you and another person. I think it was something called like Dance Flirting or something like that on your channel.
Oh.
And you guys did it. You did a great job of choreographing your dancing.
Yeah. With whom? With whom?
Do you remember that video? Was it called Flirting or something like that? It was one of your videos, and it was you and another person, some guy, and you guys were dancing together like a routine.
No, maybe I am in my male dress, I guess. I am in my male dress.
Maybe you did two characters at the same time, like on a green screen.
Yeah.
Wow, that was fantastic.
I have done several of them, more than 200, 500, I think. Up to 500, I have done dual role as both male and female.
Oh, that's great. That's really good. So, yeah, those are, I wish I had, I wish I could connect the right music with you so we could get a good dance routine together. But, so what do you have to share with us this week?
Yeah, that's what about my aliens and about my palace tour last week. 2 to 3 days before I was also on palace tour. I visited 2 to 3 palace, Hill Palace, and 2 more palaces. And even there, I tried to spot resemblances of Saint Petersburg.
I was going to say, since in a past life you lived in the Russian palace, did you feel at home in these palaces?
Yeah, whenever I visit palaces, I do feel at home.
Do you feel like
it
that
takes me back in time?
You feel comfortable with royalty?
Yeah, I do feel.
Yeah. All right, so what else? I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I also viewed Palanquin, the display of old artifacts, the Palanquin and other old vehicles from the 1900s, early 1900s and late 1800s. So it actually reminded me of my past life. It took me back to my past life memories again.
Do you have dreams of living in Russia in your past lives? Yeah,
several times I have. I've dreamt of Lenin and one more guy, the guy who shot us. Guy. I've dreamt of him in 2017.
That would sound like more
2 years
nightmare.
before my no, it was a sort of nightmare. But initially, I had thought that it could have been a movie, black and white movie. But only in 2022, last year, I realized that all of the dreams were interconnected. That's how.
For those of you that are new here, Vicky discovered in a past life he was the son of Tsar Nicholas.
Yeah.
Do you want to
do in the year 2000? In the year 2019. Yeah.
In 2019, you had hypnotherapy.
Past life regression, and I discovered.
Is that pretty popular in India? People performing past life regressions?
Yeah, I don't know about its popularity, but yeah, it's quite common. It's
Mm-hmm.
not a rarity. It's quite common.
Hmm.
Many have studied from abroad, and we have lots of abroad-based past life regression therapists in India.
Would you
And
say that? Go ahead.
one more interesting thing is that last year, when I met one more past life, the person who once more, when I met her, she also regressed me on parallel life.
Wow. What? So are you
So,
having a parallel lifetime right now?
yeah,
Where?
it was another Earth. It was another Earth actually. So it is simultaneously happening, and in that lifetime, I am a complete female.
Mm-hmm.
I am a model actually,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm trying to learn skating, and I'm not able to pick up, and I'm not happy there.
Wow. They're not happy
Mm,
that you can't learn to skate.
mm, mm.
Well, are you going to dance today?
Yeah,
Are you ready? Let me put on some
yeah.
music. I got to get some more dance music.
Yeah, I'm done.
All right.
Again.
Great job. Great job. Great job.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, Vicky, I've got two people waiting on me. I've got to run, brother, but I appreciate you. I I hope you have a great rest of
And I
your
would like
weekend.
to, yeah, last week, 2 weeks before, after doing your podcast, I got some 6 new subscribers,
Oh,
six
really?
new people.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's great. So
so
look,
I
if
would
you
like to,
go ahead.
thank them for stepping forward and supporting the Z chromosome.
The Z chrome. Maybe you should call your YouTube channel Z chromosome.
Yeah, but I've just kept it my name, Vicky Gold Ganesh.
Right, right. That'd be cool. All right, Vicky, I got to run. You have a great rest
Yeah,
of your weekend. Take care.
fine.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
All righty, let's give Vicky a huge round of applause. Thank you, Vicky, for coming and sharing with us. And I know I'm out of sequence, but we're going to bring John in. John is going to be doing some live UFOs, and maybe he's got some for us real quick. So we'll see what's going to go on here. And see if we can, he was on before and we saw live UFO. So let's see if we can get some today.
Hey, Jeff.
John, how are you, brother?
I'm doing well. How are you, my friend?
Great. Are you out? Are you out live?
Oh, man, they are all over the place tonight. They have
Really?
been too. Yeah, it's awesome.
All right, well,
There's
turn
been,
on your camera. There we go. It's coming. All right, everybody. Hopefully, we will right now witness together some more UFOs. John is out there in Georgia. There's one. Looks like, yeah.
just put your camera up, and Jeff, there's a second kind of really fast
Okay, let me
craft.
take my camera down so we just see you.
It's a very fast kind of a wing craft that will often be around these energies.
Yeah, it's moving fast.
Oh yeah,
Do
I
you
just put
Do
Go
you
ahead.
think you can get any of them to blink for us?
I can sure try. Wow, what was that?
Wow, it's hard for you to keep up with them.
There was a double flash there. I don't know what that was about, but
All right, for everybody who's watching, do you want to tell people about your setup and how you're doing this?
yeah, I have a Sony A7S III, which is a low light 4K camera, and I have it streaming through my laptop. I have a mobile Wi-Fi and a power supply that's supplying power to everything. And I've got a little microphone, a little miniature microphone, and that's about it. Are you there? Or did I lose you?
I'm here. What are you using for a power supply?
Yeah, it's called, what's this called? Marbird. It looks like something. I can show you a picture of it, maybe.
Now, for those of you that are new here, John and I did a video together. He regularly films UFOs. We watch some footage on our video together, our podcast. He is a professional guitarist. He's even played for President Jimmy Carter, probably multiple times. And
Many times. He's a
many
dear friend.
times.
I sent him, I made he's in hospice now, Jeff,
Mhm.
and I made him a special CD and I mailed it to the Carter Center and they forwarded it down to Plains and I got a lovely note back. So I'm hoping he's enjoying some music. There we go. He's turning 90. There's two right there. Hey, gorgeous ones. Three. Oh, that could be Starlink. Looks like. Yep. That's
Starlink. How can you tell one of Starlink's?
Well, you see, they're in a line. So that's definitely Starlink.
So those are satellites then, just up there?
Yeah, that's satellites right there.
When they're moving together. Wow, I'm surprised Starlink comes in that big.
Yeah. Sometimes they're directly overhead. Whoa, what was that? There's a fast one, Jeff, that's here tonight that I saw right before we went live, and they go around the energies and they are just amazing. And I'm hoping they'll come back. Can you send one, beautiful ones? I'd love to see a big, beautiful ship on this lovely autumnal equinox, dear ones. It'd be a great honor and a pleasure, dear ones.
And yeah, we're right now at the autumn equinox. I don't know.
Here we go.
And that looks like one. There we go.
Hey, friends. Hey, beautiful ones.
That's awesome.
And there's often they will cross each other, and then the fast ones. I just posted a video where there was about 30 of them, 30 interactions, and one flew right in front of the camera. It was amazing. He came really close. So
that one's pretty big.
Yeah, it's very bright. Hey, beautiful ones. How lovely. Thank you. Gorgeous.
Can you ask it to blink for us, or power up or power down? Sometimes
Can
I've
you
seen
blink, dear ones? Let's see if, and I have different classes of interactions, Jeff. So when it's a single, that's one category. When there's a double action with it, with a secondary craft, or then I put that into another category. That's blinking a little bit there.
it looked like it was kind of where it got less. Became more dim.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I was trying to get with you in just a few minutes earlier, but
I started late. Here we go.
Hey, my friends. It's such a pleasure, dear ones. Can you send a super sweet fast friend? Man, that would be so wonderful, dear ones. because they will circle right around these at great speed. And it's just an amazing thing to see. How have you been, my friend? Jeff, I haven't talked to you in a while. How have you been?
Oh, great. Thank you. I've been just, it's really busy. Trying to think about anything new that's been going on. I mean, it's day-to-day business here.
Fair enough.
Interviewing people, and I moved somewhere where we're on the edge of the city, so there's less
Good
light pollution, and I've been wanting to try what you do and somehow try to send thoughts out into the universe so I can start seeing our star friends.
Brother, that's how you do it. That's what I've been doing for 10 years. My book, The Universe Loves You, the ebook is out, and I'm just finishing all the different elements for the paperback and the hardback copy. Those should be available, and I go through in pretty great detail actually on the different techniques that I've used over the years.
Now, you were at a dinner one time when President Carter talked about his UFO sighting, right?
That's really what got me started on this journey, Jeff. We were in Toledo, Spain. There he is. There's my fast friend. Hey, gorgeous one. Whoa. I'm not sure if you saw that. He went right by there. Every time I speak of Jimmy Carter, we have something really, that happened to us last time, Jeff. They're really connected with the higher, I consider President Carter really a higher dimensional being himself. If you sit down and speak with him, it's just, there's an aura about him that exudes that kind of frequency and energy. But yeah, that's really what got me started on it. He explained about his experience in South Georgia in the 60s with that beautiful energy that was about treetop level, came closer to him, and then it just receded away.
Mm-hmm.
And
have you been now? You've been on Whitley Strieber's podcast. Do you ever hang out with Whitley?
Well, he did the foreword to my book, and I'm so thankful for that. And we plan on actually doing something together pretty soon. We're talking about it, so hopefully one day soon we can. And we'll have to get you out there too, brother.
Yeah, it'd be great. It'd be awesome to have the three of us film some UFOs together.
Oh man, that would be a great day. Absolutely a great day.
I would love to see what you could do if you went, somewhere way out where you had zero light pollution, so you didn't have to use low light.
I can only see brightest. I can see Cygnus with the Neb. I can see Vega directly overhead, and Polaris,
mm-hmm.
and Cassiopeia, and Altair, and the Big Dipper, of course. But that's about it. We have so much light pollution around here. But with this camera, I'm able to, it really makes it much better. But yeah, that would be so nice to go to an area that doesn't have a lot of pollution, light pollution. That would be a great, great thing. I've seen really wonderful things when I do that.
What I want to get is, I would love to get those night vision goggles.
Uh-huh.
And then hook that up to an iPad or something, and then you could see it through night vision as well.
Yeah, that's the thing. You can do a little research and then put a few pieces together, and the technology today, I mean, 10 years ago, we couldn't do this in any way whatsoever. And it's only going to get better.
Someone's asking in the chat, why are you moving the camera so much? But I'm assuming you're just looking for UFOs.
Yeah, I'm
right?
just scanning the sky because sometimes I can't see it with my naked eye, but they're out here, and that's why I'm just scanning around to see if, because when you lock into one, then the other ones can come around as well.
Now, for for the skeptics out there, what would a drone look like if someone was flying a drone? Would you even be able to see it?
You know, I put a drone up myself. I did that. I was going to do it today. I may put one up in a few minutes and let you see. I put one up a couple days ago right at Polaris, and we have an agreement that that'll be the star of intention. And one of the energies went directly between my drone and Polaris. So there, you know, there's absolute intelligent control when you have those kind of interactions. That's a plane
Yeah,
right
it
there.
looks like a plane. What would you think about putting your camera on a tripod? So when you do finally find one, it would be less shaky.
Yeah. Well, you can't follow it with a tripod. There's just no way to do it. They move so fast, and you have to, you know, I've been doing this now for 10 years. So I've had stationary. I've used this as a stationary camera, and then I'd have other secondary cameras.
Right.
And so that you can do that, but on a tripod, there's just no way to be able to follow it.
Right.
I've tried. It's just that, you know, they move very quickly and erratically, and you have to be able to move on the fly.
Right. Well, brother, I've got like 3 or 4 people in the waiting room. I cut you in line because I knew you were there.
I sure appreciate that, brother. And I'll stay.
Go ahead.
Love you too, brother. I'll stay. I've got my phone with me, so if I see something, can I just text you?
Yeah, text me. I have my Facebook here. If something pops up that we'll cut, we can cut back into you if you can get if you get something.
Sounds great.
But thank you for showing your footage. And ladies and gentlemen, I mean, there it is. We've got live UFOs on a live stream. I mean, I think that's pretty amazing.
We all can do it. That's the big thing, is I just want everyone to know that we all have the ability to go outside, project the very best of ourselves, share that with the universe, and you will be amazed at just the love and acceptance and just the great energy that's returned to you tenfold. I highly recommend it.
Right. Before I go, real quick, what's the name of your YouTube channel and your book?
YouTube is John Martin UFO and ET Intelligences. And my book is The Universe Loves You. It's on all the major sites. And yeah, just come on out and check it out. I'm starting to do live streams now too. You inspired me to do that, Jeff.
Awesome. Awesome. All right, brother. I will talk to you later.
That's great. See ya.
Cheers. What's that? All right, a big round of applause for John. Don't report, and I've got to pull myself back. And all right, so before we move to the next person, we've kind of figured out a system last week that kind of helps. So is Robin in the chat? So we know, I don't have to, I don't know, you guys know, but that's what we figured out. For those who were there, we want to find out if Robin's there, Levin is there, and Claire is there. Before we start inviting people in, I have to be... Claire Light says, I am Robin. Okay. She's right there. Well, she's got a star on there, so she's a member. So I think that she's a real person. Check it out. Uh-oh, it says joining. I was wondering what's going on. Here we go. I think it's just slow joining, that's all. Sometimes people's they're just, maybe the connection we have is not there. Robin is saying she'll start video later. All right, well, maybe I'm gonna put, oh, she's gone. I was going to say maybe I'll put her back into the waiting room. But there she goes. All right, so we have Claire's iPad and Levin Silverstone. Are Levin and Claire there in the chat? That is my way to test if you're not someone that's trolling. So far there's not 11 and a Claire. So I don't know. Oh, Claire Price Artist. I'm Claire's iPad. Do you see that? Click on it. All right, great. Claire's looks like an artist. Let's bring her in. Sorry I have to do that, but that's the best way if I'm going to keep doing this live stream is I have to kind of, some kind of way to check. Yeah. Yeah, if you have a YouTube.
Hi.
Hello, Claire.
Hi, how are you?
Great, how are you?
Good. I love your, hang on. Okay, start me. I'm not very zoomy, but here I am. Hey.
All right, welcome.
I love your podcast. I listen to it all the time when I paint, and I feel seen by all the wackadoodle community out there who've had lots of crazy experiences.
Yeah.
That I'm excited to share something that happened to me when I was 20.
Okay, let's hear about it.
So I grew up in New Zealand, and I was staying at my best friend's house, and we'd both gone to bed, and I woke up from sort of expecting that I was going to be waking up in the morning because it felt like I'd been asleep for a long time. But I looked at the clock, the digital clock next to me, and it said 11:11, and I thought that's weird. Because I thought that's synchronicity, but I didn't have any context of thinking anything more than that. And also because I thought I would not be surprised if it was 6 a.m. Anyway, I woke up because I needed to pee. And she had this huge, long corridor that you had to walk down this sort of walkway. And I didn't want to turn the lights on because I didn't want to wake everybody up. And I kind of knew my way around the house. So I start walking down the hallway, and I stop in my tracks because it looks like there is a being walking towards me. And I've had a number of paranormal things, and every time something crazy happens, I have to stop and go through scientific explanations first. So, okay, what is this? That can't be. So I keep walking a little bit further, and I'm like, I can clearly make out a head and shoulders. This is trippy. And then I think, you know what? It's got to be my shadow all the way down the hallway, reflected on the glass on the photograph that they've got at the end of the hallway. So I'm standing there, and I think, what I'll do is I'll just put my hand up like that, and that way I can see the outline of the head and shoulders, and then I'll see the hands go up, and I'll know it's my shadow. And I did that, and I didn't see a hand go up. And right at that moment, I focused my eyes from in the dark 10 feet ahead of me into what was standing right in front of me. And right in front of me was a being. What frightened me the most was that it was way taller than any human I'd seen. I was going to say at least 7 feet. I couldn't tell you whether it was a male or female, but I knew it was benevolent. It didn't mean any harm. I knew there was a moment of recognition where we clocked each other, and I saw it, and it knew that I saw it, and it saw me, and I had just like the biggest freak out of my life. I ran into the bathroom, I turned on the light, and I telepathically said to this being, I know you mean me no harm, but this is just too much for me right now. I'm freaked out. So I had to sort of like wait in there, calm myself down. And then when I left the bathroom, I had my eyes looking straight down going, you may still well be here. And I know you don't mean me any harm, but I just got to go back to bed. And strangely, I went back to bed and went to sleep. The next morning, I was like, oh my God, nobody's going to believe me. So I tell my friend and her mom, and the mom was like, oh yes, I speak to the ghosts in the house all the time. And I thought, oh, well, she's strangely open-minded, but I knew it wasn't a ghost or a person or something like she was saying, oh, it might be the old lady who used to live here and stuff. And it wasn't until relatively recently, and listening to a lot of your stories that you have on it, that I realized that it was probably an interdimensional being, because all I could tell you about what it looked like was it was way taller than me, because the head and shoulders ratio was like a basketballer, and it was glowing blue light. That's all I know.
Well, I don't know for sure, but the two things that immediately jump out to me are 1111, the angel number, and a lot of my guests who encounter angels will say they are very tall, usually 8 feet tall, 10 feet tall. So by those two descriptions or facts that you gave us, that's what I initially think is perhaps it was an angel, maybe your guardian angel, maybe some other angel that was paying you a visit. But I mean, hey, those are, like I said, 1111 and the tithe, and you understood that it was a benevolent being.
Oh yeah, I mean, I was scared because I clocked it like it was this close to me, and there was that point of recognition. I don't know if you've ever seen a wild animal or something like that, and there's a moment where you lock eyes and you just know that you are looking at each other, and yeah. But I had a lot of other crazy stuff happen around that time that was pretty unusual. One of them was that I was this house I was staying in, they had a lovely book collection, and I was going through a book of Tutankhamun, and as I was going through the book, I came across a piece of furniture that I was looking at going, gosh, that's fascinating, look at that. And I had this flash where all of a sudden I was in ancient Egypt, and that was mine. Like, I knew that possession is mine. And I thought, wow, that's really crazy. And I've always had feelings and fantasies about ancient Egypt ever since I was a kid. So, and I'm, everybody who thinks they're reincarnated, or it's always somebody fantastic and famous, whatever. And I don't necessarily think that I was Tutankhamun. But after this angel incident, I ended up going to live with a spiritual woman in this very remote location in New Zealand. And I actually dropped out of university to go and live with her. She was she's a contactee. She's a trip, but that's a whole other story.
And a contactee of who? ETs or interdimensional
ETs, yeah.
beings?
And she'd actually written a book about it, because her name was Deviana, and she lived. Deviana Wheeler. She wrote a book called Heartlight at Sea, which she was in a regatta going to Tonga when a group of, I don't know, 30 to 50 boats got stuck in this freak storm, and that had to be, it was the biggest Pacific Ocean rescue. But her and like most of the people in the boats that were all thought they were going to die, because they were on 14-story waves in a catamaran. They all saw crazy lights and sounds and flashing lights and ET stuff, spaceships. So my boyfriend at the time had read this book and went, oh my God, we have to go and meet this lady. And I was like, well, we don't know where she lives. And he's going, I'm going to go on a mission. And he just took off. He left the town, Christchurch, that we were in, and he called me about 2 weeks later, and he said, you just got to come and live here. You got to come meet this woman. She's a goddess. And I'm like, she's a goddess? What does that mean? He's like, I can't even explain it. You just got to come and meet her. So I go up to meet her. I'm pretty skeptical, and I'm like, oh, maybe I'll see some parts of New Zealand I haven't seen. And I turn up there, and she is amazing. She was probably in her 50s, 60s at the time. She had this amazing blonde hair, absolutely gorgeous woman, American. And she took one look at me and she freaked out and ran away, and came back a little bit later and apologized and said, I'm sorry, but as soon as I saw you, I just saw a sarcophagus opening. And I thought, that's weird. That's weird, because I've just had this other weird thing happen. So she told me that she had had direct contact with the aliens. She told me that she'd been abducted as a child, and she knew because she had been put back in her bed the wrong way around. And her mum would say, "Oh, that's the darndest thing, you tucked yourself in and remade the bed the other way," as a 6-year-old, and she knew that. And she was super spiritual from a very young age, and was like preaching on a pulpit at 6. She dated Elvis Presley and Robert Kennedy.
Wow.
And yeah, no, she's a trip, and she was absolutely gorgeous. It was like, but boy, did she have a story. So my little 20-year-old brain was like exploded. But yeah, she also had a scary ET thing happen to her, where she was recovering from this boat experience in Auckland, where I'm from. And she said she woke up in the middle of the night and there was this red light at the end of her bed, and she was paralyzed, kind of like a sleep paralysis, but she was awake. And she looked at the red light, and she said it was like a flame and something. And at the moment she realized that that was actually the pupil of the thing that she was looking at. Anyway, I can't remember too much more details of this, because this was in the 90s, but she did say that she was implanted with something. She had an implant, and she had gone to a number of doctors, refused to be x-rayed, but said, "Here it is at the spot. Can you open me up and take it out?" And eventually a guy did x-ray her, and I think it was something like it came up on the x-ray, but it was invisible. No, was it? It might have been the other way around. It didn't come up on the x-ray. Anyway, they pulled something out of her eventually. But yes, it was, all of this was in the 90s, and I didn't know anybody else who was into all of this spiritual / paranormal stuff. So I was, I got a full dose at age 19.
Do you think I can get her on as a guest?
She is notoriously, she went offline. She lived in a community commune at Berkeley under a man called Christopher Hills, who invented spirulina. Wow. And Deviana and her husband Daryl marketed it, and they were the first people in the world to market spirulina. And she said that they got visited by men in black who basically intimidated them to a degree to which they sold all of their sort of earthly possessions here in the US, and first of all bought an RV bus, and then got the boat that ended up in this Heartlight Rescue at Sea is the name of the book that she wrote. But she is there's very few photos of her that exist. I have had some email contact with her, and but she doesn't have any. I've tried to Google her and stuff like that. She's deliberately stayed offline.
Oh, it's too bad.
Yeah.
Should be an amazing guest. What's fascinating for me is what my wife and I used to make children's videos, and we had this character in the videos, and I just made up the name of the character, Deviana.
Is that right?
And it's fascinating for me to find that actually there's a real person with the name Deviana.
That's crazy, because just before, when you said, are these people here who are in the chat? The person who was before me wrote their name was Clarelight, their pseudonym.
Yeah.
I was a singer-songwriter and put out albums, and my name was Clarelight.
Oh wow. Can we hear
so there's another thing.
Can we hear your music online somewhere?
Yeah, you can probably find it on Spotify somewhere. I had a band called Frank in Paris, and it's a little bit hard to find, but I'd rather you go and look at my painting now at clairepriceartist.com. We saw that. We just kind of clicked on your YouTube channel to try to make sure that you're not a troll, and I saw it looked like you had some cool artwork. So, oh, thanks. I'm trying to get that.
The people do you know what Discord is?
Yeah, I tried to download it. Yeah, I have downloaded it.
Yeah, people in the chat want you to join the Discord, so go get your free. You just go to discord.com, get your free profile, and then in the description below is a link to my Discord. It's like chat rooms and stuff.
Awesome.
And the community wants to talk to you in the Discord.
Great. I've got so many more stories, but I'm sure you've got other people to talk to.
Right. But before I go, what is your where can people see your art?
Well, I live in New York City right now, but I show here in Manhattan. I show in Australasia also. You can come and check out my work at clairepriceartist.com.
clairepriceartist.com.
Voila.
All right,
yes.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming and sharing with us. We really
thank you,
appreciate
Jeff.
it. And
I love you so much. I love your stories. I love your guests.
Thank you so much. All right,
Take care, my dear.
Evening. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye-bye.
And a big round of applause for Claire. That was so cool. And top notch. Thank you so much for that super thanks. We really appreciate it. Oh, yeah, I got to read it. Let me scroll back to that on my other computer. And did we ever figure out if Levin Silverstone is actually in the chat or not? It says, been missing you guys. Kids back to school and it's been hard to get a minute to unwind. Love y'all. Well, I'm glad you're back. Top notch, and thank you again. We love you. All right, so let me get back out of that. I don't want to do that. How do I turn that off so I can see the chat? Now, did we ever find out if there was a Levin Silverstone? No Levin Silverstone. Okay, so I don't know if we can trust this. So that is the way that we verify that who you are, is if you're actually on YouTube, and we can check out your YouTube channel. There's Steph Silverstone. I am in here. Okay, there's... Is your name Stephanie or Levin? Because we see Steph and then we see 11. And so I got a guy, while we're kind of figuring that out, I am going to be with a gentleman on Monday who, I think we may just mention it. I'm not going to do the live channeling on Monday. I may do it in a future podcast with him, but he channels the Prophet Muhammad. And I think that would be pretty interesting to see him channel the Prophet Muhammad. I think he also channels Jesus, so but he takes a lot of pictures of fairies and angels and stuff, and so I think it'll be pretty cool to check out his photography. So I am not seeing what happened. Steph or Levin, I don't know. Anyway, so that's that. Tomorrow's podcast is with a woman, an NDE, who drowned at the lake. I hope you guys will enjoy that. And then I've got and I did a recorded one the other day that I may post that on Monday night. It's the first children's NDE book. So I had a nice chat with the author of this children's NDE book, and it's kind of a little bit loosely based, I believe, on Dannion Brinkley's NDE, or at least has some elements of his in there. My wife's name is Stephanie. All right, so maybe we'll give this person a try. Oh, okay, yeah. It's a Facebook page. That's great thinking. So yeah, that's gonna be that one. I think I'm supposed to record. I'm just kind of going through here what's going on with this week, and I'm telling you what videos are coming up this week. So I have that one to share with you. The author. Tomorrow I'm recording an NDE, and as I said, and then I have an NDE, I believe, also that I'm recording on Tuesday with a guy who saw aliens. The psychic firefighter I'm supposed to be with on Thursday, and I didn't put in my notes what this person's subject is. And then a guy from London, a musician that has UFO encounters, so that'll be pretty cool. And then next week, following that, I have RJ Spina that I'm supposed to meet with. So we'll see how that goes. And we don't know what's going on. Okay. He says our Facebook page. He says, he or she says our Facebook. Maybe you put up Levin Silverstone. I want to join the Discord, but I have JeffMara. Are your DMs open? I'm there on. We both have a face, a profile, obviously on Discord, but I'm rarely there. I'm just so crazy busy that I'm rarely there. And he says I'm using my wife's laptop, brother. Oh, I think this is Levin that comes maybe it's Levin that comes all the time. That has been coming. And he's been coming many times. I'm pretty sure that's who it is. Let's see. I'm gonna take a chance. Hopefully I didn't make a big mistake. But there's not many Levins out there. What was that? Looked like it was like a video game or something.
Brother.
Levin.
Yeah, I'm here. It's me.
Okay, I thought it was you perhaps. It looks like you got like a video game for your something.
Oh, you can see that.
Uh-oh. I accidentally did that. Darn it. That was a mistake on my end. I'm sorry, Levin. I thought I was going to try to tell you to turn on your camera, but what happened was I removed him by accident. Hopefully you can come back. That was a mistake on my end. See, sometimes I click wrong buttons, and that was the wrong button. So that was an accident. Hopefully you can get back in. I've had it before where when I remove somebody, they couldn't. Yeah, trigger finger. Finger. Yes, it was really an accident. It really was. So I got too many things going at one time. I'm not multitasking well here because I have here, I have there. I have my sound effects here, and that was a problem. Hopefully he'll get back in. If not, at least he can get in with the other account. Maybe his account instead of his wife's. So, anyways, that's who's coming up. I think I told you guys in the beginning that we finally got our new store together. He's back. Okay, so let's put him back in. I redid who makes all my merch, or all our merch, and we have, and see that flashes again. All right, see, this is what I was trying to do. I was trying to do this and say ask to start video. Instead of doing that, I hit remove. That was the problem. Levin, welcome back.
Hey.
All right, there
Hello,
you go.
brother.
I'm glad you could get back in. I was trying to do that, help you start your video, and then I hit remove.
That's all right.
I was in another dimension just for a second. I wasn't paying attention. So what do you got to share with us today?
Well, just the usual stuff. We can continue.
All right, great. Sounds good.
Yeah. So the thing you see, are you able to see that? Like an animation thing you saw?
I saw that animation pop on and off real quick. That looked like something from a video game from the 80s.
Yeah, it's just my wife has it, just for fun, I guess, on her laptop.
She's a gamer?
Yeah, she plays games.
Cool. Are you a gamer too?
Well, I'm not that much of a gamer.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, you already live in the game, right? We're here. This is one big game.
I beat the game. I mean.
So I don't remember where we left off. So you have to kind of review. You have to bring me back there.
Well, we don't have to go to the exact point, but eventually it'll bring us to that. So we see nature, right? Nature is, let's say, nature is organic matrix. So nature is, it sustains itself, right?
Yes.
So like the same way we said, right? All the things we have created here in this world is copied from the organic matrix.
Right.
So
that sounds
so
like
the
something I was talking with Darius about, her and his wife. I was talking with somebody about that. Was it you or somebody else as well?
Well, we have talked about it and other people as well. I mean,
that's interesting. Well, let me ask you this before you go on anywhere. It seems like the nature would do a lot better without humans. Like humans throws a big kink in the system. Would you agree on that?
Yeah, that's true. As long as we are still unconscious, then only the problem happens. If we are conscious, then we are the perfect, caretakers of our world. We have the highest responsibility in our planet.
Yeah.
Once we realize that everything is governed by unconditional love, there is no opposite force for it. So once we realize that, then there is no place for fear to exist.
Right.
So, then we take care of our world, all the life forms, animals. First, energy is everything. So once we balance the energy, then everything already sustains itself. So everything will flourish, become more, it will be amazing. And we are going towards that.
All right, let's get back to the matrix now. So you agree that our matrix is just a copy of the real realm outside of ours, where you have a copy. And do you also believe that this copy has been inverted and in a bad way, and we're trying to dig ourselves out of it?
Yeah, that's true.
What evidence do you have that this is the matrix?
So the evidence is the organic matrix is freedom. Everything is free, all the, how do I put it, like the things we can feel in the organic matrix is all about, truth, unconditional love, peace, harmony, bliss. All of those things exist naturally in the organic matrix. So now this matrix, the 3D matrix, has all the feelings which we can feel, which makes us feel, like compressed. It compresses us. It makes us not to expand, but constrain us. Like fear, for example. Fear is the fuel that of this whole 3D matrix. So the thing is, it's really big, but we don't have to create a big all of it, but we can just say that the people, I mean, they aren't even people. So whoever created this, they were disconnected from the source from the very beginning. So they couldn't feel complete, how they can't feel complete. They felt, separate. So they started to, take power. And because of fear, everything is huge. It's really vast. It's boundless, right? So they couldn't figure any of these things out, because when you separate yourself, then how can you understand from that perspective? When you are separate, you can't see something as a whole. So, when you can't see as a whole, then we created this out of that separation, out of that fear. We created this the 3D matrix. So the 3D matrix, truth is dangerous for the 3D matrix. So it cannot allow truth. It always tries it uses all its power to try and suppress or hide the truth.
Do you feel that this 3D matrix is going to be ending soon?
Oh, it is ending. It's now ending as we speak. So the organic matrix is freedom, unconditional love, right? So the 3D matrix is opposite to that. It's so dense. So when something is dense, it cannot allow truth. It always tries all its power to try and suppress or hide the truth. Do you feel that this 3D matrix is going to be ending soon? Oh, it is ending. It's now ending as we speak. So the organic matrix is freedom, unconditional love, right? So the 3D matrix is opposite to that. It's so dense. So when something is dense, the organic matrix is all around us. It doesn't force itself into the matrix because, love doesn't force, so it flows around the 3D matrix. So what happens is when we as human beings start to become aware of our true nature and start to realize that, we are not this character which we have, this image we have built about ourselves, we are none of that, then we realize that, there is already freedom. So once a human, realizes that truth, then we create kind of a portal or a, vortex through which, since we allow, now we hold the energy of freedom. So what happens is, so the organic matrix can flow through that portal or the vortex into the 3D matrix, which is dense. So what happens is, as people start to awaken, we create that opening, and when that powerful high vibration energy comes into the matrix, then we destroy it from inside out. It cannot sustain because it's really dense and low. It truth is immense, so it cannot, it can never exist after this. It's happening now.
What are the signs that you are seeing that tell you that it's happening now?
Well, when I was starting, beginning this journey before almost nine years ago, there was nobody. I mean, we would search for some people, like who is saying these kind of things over the internet, and there was nobody. Maybe if there was some, there were really few people, and we were not able to find them. But now, well, nobody can deny what's going on now. I mean, so many people are coming out and saying the truth. So it's undeniable. I mean, there's no doubt about it. And also our higher dimensional, brothers and sisters, they are also showing, the crafts and everything. So it's all coming together.
Do you have contact with any beings?
Well, I have not had any contact except for, it wasn't from any other being, but it was an awareness of that we are connected with source itself.
Okay.
So that was a perfect question. So the thing is, so how do I put this? Let's say we use language to speak, right? So language, the words can only point to the word is not the real thing. Say you take an apple in your hand, and we call it an apple, but then it has a color, it has taste, and when you bite it, how it makes you feel and how it nourishes us. So all that, and it has seeds, life inside it, and you plant it and it becomes a tree. So all of that word apple is not even close to the real thing. So the word is only pointing to the truth. So we as human beings, since we are stuck in a we construct the images and information, we're stuck with information. So we only understand through words, linear way. So once we see that the word is not really the thing, then we start to see the real world. And so, yes.
Go ahead. Go ahead. I'll let you finish, and I was going to tell you something.
All right. So what happens is we actually don't know. Really, we don't know a thing about life. We don't know anything. When we see, let's take water. So all we can do is measure it. Maybe we can say, oh, if we heat the water, it can evaporate, or if it reaches a certain temperature, it can become ice, it can change its form. That's all we know. We don't know the water itself, what it is. So creation is, it's a mystery. Creation cannot be, it cannot be put as a word. So now you see from our world, you see the sky, you see so many stars. I mean, what the humans are doing is we're using telescope to see the macro world and see that there are billions and billions of stars and galaxies. I mean, we are not able to comprehend all that. We couldn't, understand any of it. We're only trying to form theories and come up and try and understand something. But then you see, matter is not even 1% of the whole universe. And they go to the macro world, you see through the microscope, we see cells, atoms, and then the atom is just not even 1%, and then it's surrounded by limitless space, or unlimited space. So see, both the things are common here. So matter is what's going on here, so in our world. So if we want to understand if a mistake or an error is going on, we must observe first, look at it, pay attention to it, right? To realize that there is an error. So if we don't see it, then we won't know we are in it, and all the mess is happening in our world. Mm-hmm. So the moment we see, so once we spot it, then that's the solution. We can fix it. We already have the knowledge, the intelligence within us, because we are creation, right? You're not separate from it. So it's all within us. So once we see that, then what happens is so now what then comes awareness. So now I'm not the ego, then I have thoughts. I mean, thoughts are there. So what is aware of the thoughts? Thought is matter, right? So what happens is the vastness, God, right? Everywhere. God is everywhere. So God is whole universe. So that means the non-matter, which is the unlimited space outside, which we can't see, that itself is watching matter. So God is already watching through us, everything happening. Once we allow that awareness, so that's what's awareness is from the present moment. So when it watches our thoughts, feelings, emotions, everything, it happens. So we are going through errors in our life. That's why all the conflict, imbalance, everything happening. So once we allow awareness to flow through us, then the error is already solved, because the source is watching through us.
Makes sense.
And this was the proof that the non-matter, the limitless universe is watching this, watching our thoughts.
Watching through us. I was going to say earlier that I'm trying to get this guest on. I haven't heard back from him yet, that he, I think, gives shows in the Bible where the Bible is talking about the end of the simulation. Mm-hmm. So I think that would be fascinating. Levin, I've got to run. I got another person waiting on me. What is the name of your YouTube channel again before I go?
Blind Our Eyes Without an Open Heart, 7359.
All right, guys. I hope you got that. Levin, thanks for staying and
thank you, brother,
joining us. We appreciate you, and have a great rest of your weekend, brother.
You guys have a good time. See you. Take care.
Bye bye. And a big round of applause for Levin. And next up, the one and only. I wonder where he is. It's probably gotten darker up there, so he's probably not on the golf course. Although it was fun when we were on the golf course with him. No, he's not in the golf course. But he has...
There's a glitch in the matrix.
He has orbs.
Wow, dude.
We have orbs.
We have the orbs. We have the power. The great wizard of the universe is here. The grand wizard.
There he is. Grand Wizard.
The Grand Wizard will juggle balls now. And do an impression of someone. Yeah. Find someone out in the audience who needs an impression. I don't know if you can hear that thunder.
I can't hear the thunder. I can just hear your thunder from juggling those orbs.
I get great power from juggling.
So what is new this week, Stephen? What is new?
Well,
Last time I was pretty fun. I actually got to talk to the Mindjackers.
we got them, folks. We
And
got
I
them
would
at
tell the
the
Mindjackers, set Stephen free. Free Stephen.
Yeah, that's my whole thing now is, yeah, we're not, see, I say they took over my voice, Jeff. I can't just say whatever I want. The Mindjackers got me.
we need to make a, I just put this new mug up. I'm doing a monthly mug. I need to make one of them that just says free Mindjackers, free Stephen.
Yeah. I say I got mindjacked, and my mind got hijacked
Yeah.
by an intelligent agent. That's what I said. Yeah, I went through, see, they won't let me say every word. Let's see if they let me. Spiritual boot camp.
Mhm.
That's what they called it.
Uh-huh.
Where I was learning lessons, and they gave me energy, and they can drain my energy down. Because they said this is for me, to help me.
This is your
Because my life wasn't
experience.
going well. Yeah, my life wasn't going well. It was going. Wasn't making people harm me, and I wasn't. Things were getting corrected. And so I'm
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
trying to figure out how to get things back. So I begged God, and that's where all this started. That was last September. But then it lasted for 6 months.
There's a comment.
But I'm left with. Okay,
There's
go
a
ahead.
comment here that says Stephen broke through the Mindjackers.
I broke through it, folks. I did it because it was all about the truth, getting to the truth. And I know I've said this many times. We can never just get to the truth.
Yeah.
There's like this belief wall, and I said there's all these.
Well, it's up to you.
The
Whatever
wheel
you
of
want
fortune.
to believe in.
Now, some people are just born with certain gifts. They can do things easier. It's like a big mixed bag. And I said, everything in my life is like, they won't let me say the word.
Uh-oh.
I'm in a constant conversation. It's hard for me to even watch videos anymore. Like if I'm laying down, I'm sure a lot of people do. They put on one of your videos, lay down, go to bed or whatever. Like that's a great way to go to sleep, listen to something positive.
Yeah, right.
But I say I'm in like this constant dialogue.
Do you think it's possible that the Mindjackers are just entity attachments? Because I've had guests that they claim to remove entities from people.
Yeah, and you had someone talk about handlers.
Yeah.
Like if you're talking to Jesus, you're talking to Mary, and I said they're not entities though. That's the thing. It's not an entity. It's like they're just showing up. I always called it the great mind. Like the great mind is smarter than you.
Okay.
And they know what you believe. I said, when you're having a conversation with God or these greater entities, they know your thoughts as soon as you begin to have a thought. As soon as you so when I'm talking to, there's no name, the intelligent agent in my mind, they already know everything. I say that, there's a debate. They won't let me say that one.
They're really
But
editing
they know your
you
thoughts,
tonight.
They know your being.
They're doing a lot of edits tonight with you.
We're going to do a lot of edits, darling.
They are squeezing the grip tighter.
They got a grip on me, mate. They've been, the crocodiles down there, mate. If you hit your ball down by the water, mate, just leave it down there. Don't even mess with it. I go golfing. Don't mess with it.
I want you would probably be, if I was into golf, I would love to have you as my caddy.
Yeah, I say that my personality is that I want to get really good at things. Like I don't like whatever it is, whatever I do, juggling, impressions, golfing. I just want to get really good at it.
Because don't you pray before every time you take a swing?
Yeah. So I say there's a mental aspect, there's a physical aspect, but then there's a mental aspect. So in the mental aspect, if I said, okay, so if it was a prize, if there was a prize for getting it on the green, what would I do?
Yeah.
And then I go to my best swing, because I say there's so many different ways you can hit a ball, all these different combinations of different ways you could hit it. I said, what's going to work the best here? And my body knows. I say, so I just let it happen. I said, what would happen? I set the target. And then if I'm, I was taught during the Enlightenment, just say, God bless this shot. Because then you'll just loosen up instead of being so tight and thinking about all the mechanics. And that's, we got to buy the balls, folks. We got to buy the balls. He thinks he's free.
I think
Come on, mind jackers. You got to let me have some fun now and then. No, you got to get back to work, folks. Get to work.
Mind jackers, you got to let Stephen free.
Let me have some fun, mind jackers. You're just. Yeah, I'd like to. That's why I said I'd like to be a great person in this world. That's what I'd like to do.
Well, you already are.
I'd like to be the greatest person, darling.
The greatest. Well,
the greatest person ever.
Well, some people believe that I am you, you are me, and you are everybody else.
Yeah, that's what I wish people had just cared. I said I can tell if people are something's not right, because they'll correct them. The mind will correct me.
Sounds like you're an empath.
Yeah, intuitive, empathetic. I can tell if someone actually does care or they're just saying that. There's a lot of people that get paid. Their job is to say they care, but I can tell if they're caring or not. I said, that's why they should have me in a position where I can say, these people aren't caring. They should be caring. I said, like, if you're in power, the higher up you are, then the more you're affecting people.
Have you ever thought about being an actor?
I'd like to be a famous actor. No. Well, I wanted to do skits. That's what I wanted to do. It's like comedy skits and stuff like that. I could do, and I was thinking about making a movie called The Mind Jackers.
There you go.
And it'd be like kind of like a Donnie Darko kind of, just very scary, and just the minds are coming for you, folks. You got to watch out. But see, I feel like I just like going up to people and just talking to them. But depends where you go, because I say the people running things don't like it. Mm-hmm. And I know I've told you that. Some people said, like, do you work here? Because I was like just going around saying Merry Christmas and blessings on people.
All right, we got to get Steven a Walmart vest so he looks like he works there, and he can.
Yeah, there's like, you're not a bell ringer, are you? And I said, no, I'm just here blessing people. Because I said they made it so. One of the first lessons they taught me was that they said, you were too nice to bugs and not nice enough to people. And they said, like, they didn't harm you. There's people that harm you. They should get, because that's the thing. It's like the people harming me, they're the ones that should get the flack over this, not because that's kind of happens. You know what I'm talking about? Where it's like you're having a bad day and then it comes out on someone else, and you don't want that. Right. But I said they did hit some switch, so I don't take things. I can deal with frustration better. I don't take things as personally, because I say there's all these different, and I still say I wish I had my powers back, because I felt like I was, man. I said, like, there's no, they say there's no nothing you could give someone to make them feel like that. It just doesn't happen.
You need your mojo back.
I need my mojo, man. Mate. Mojo. It's not mine, baby. Not mine. But
when Austin Powers lost his mojo.
Austin Powers. I know I've heard of him before. Not mine, baby. All right, baby. Baby. Yeah, baby. Yeah. All right. That was a little fun. Yeah.
And that's another one you got to add. It's Austin Powers.
I can do a lot of impressions of famous people because let me tell you why there, Jeff. Because I'm a little zany, a little crazy, a little off my little rocker there, and that helps me focus on the balls there. No, I just say that like some things come easy and natural for some people. That's where your gifts are. That's what I say. And then other times there's a breakthrough.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you're just good at it. And because I used to say, how can people sit there and talk? And some people can just do that. And it's like, now I can.
Right.
Well, I can have my own show, Jeff, and I could just get up on stage. I could just talk to people all day long.
Well, maybe, you should go, you're putting up videos, you're putting up walk and talks. What if you go live? And
yeah, I could do that.
Hang out with you live.
Yeah, but it's like I want people to help me, and the people in my life, like my family, like they're not helping me.
Yeah,
I don't have a good support system, and I said it should be. See, I can't say whatever I want because my mind's taken over here, but I don't think they let me say it. But it's like, someone should rescue me, save me from this evil.
I've had a request in the chat for you to do Jeff Goldblum.
I just did Jeff Goldblum. I was on a spaceship with extraterrestrials, and they were flying around. Yes, they were. But they didn't go faster. That was their problem. They didn't go faster. Watch out for the dinosaur DNA. They'll, what do you know? They're all females out there. What are they all? What are they doing there?
Well, brother, I've got to do what I've got to do.
All right, man. Well, you got to do what you got to do, man. We're gonna go have some fun later, man. If you want to come out with us, we'll be watching those UFOs fly right overhead.
Maybe I'll meet you down at the pub.
All right, thanks, and bless everyone. Have a great night.
God bless you. We love you, Stephen, and see you
bless
next
you
week.
too. Bless you.
Oh, he's gone already. He's so fast. All right. So, if my beloved here tells me that you guys are having problems in Discord. Just message us personally or message me personally, and I'll see what I have to do to handle that. It's usually not a problem, but I don't know what's going on in Discord. But just let us know and we can fix that. It's not a big deal. Now, is Stone Hobbit in the chat? Yeah, Stone Hobbit is waiting to join us. Is Stone Hobbit there? What? I don't know what that means. All right, Stone Hobbit, you are next. For those of you that are new, I have to try to kind of vet who's coming on the show here.
Here we go.
Hello.
Hey.
Welcome.
How's it going?
Oh, it's going great. What, you got a cool looking frog behind you, just chilling there, sitting on the chair.
Yes. I have got frogs, insects, aliens, you name it.
Where are you zooming from tonight?
I am zooming from New Zealand.
Wow, the second New Zealander tonight. Did you see the first one?
Yes, I did, and that's why I'm still here.
That's great.
That's why I'm still here.
What is in the water down there? So many experiencers in New Zealand.
Eels.
Eels? Eels and frogs?
Yeah, I wish there was more frogs.
So well, what do you have to share with us?
Oh, you asked me any questions. I am a lifelong experiencer.
Okay, what have you been experiencing?
Oh, mate, honestly, I started coming out in 2000 when I realized that it wasn't just me who was seeing what I was seeing was actually real.
Mm-hmm.
I was catching footage, videos, photos, witnesses to all sorts of things, from EVPs to manifestation to crafts following us around to beings coming into the room. I have orbs, different types of orbs. I'm what am I? I'm a podcaster myself.
Oh, cool.
I've been out there for a while.
Awesome.
So you just have to look up Stone Hobbit to find some of my information and footage. Starting up a group in this week. It's just I follow the signs now.
Mm-hmm.
I follow the signs. I don't put up too much pressure against the beings and encounters.
Mm-hmm.
I've had, in the early days as a child, when I was having different beings coming in, they were labeled different to what they are labeled now.
Let me stop you for a second and ask you,
yeah,
how did this all start happening to you? Were you abducted as a child, or did you have an NDE, or what set you down this path?
I come from quite a traumatic background. And when I got to an age where I was able to leave my physical body,
right,
and watch what was happening to the physical body. I was able to leave the body, and I wasn't alone. There were other beings with me.
You know, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but it's fascinating, and we don't need to discuss the details of the trauma. But
no, that's
I've had enough guests now that have, due to trauma, they leave their bodies. I literally recorded one this earlier today with somebody that would leave their body due to trauma. So it's fascinating that of what's going on out there. And I guess you crossed the veil and that opened you up to all these other beings.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, in the early days, they were just there. There was no fear factor because they always were there. If I leave my body, I could see a certain group.
Mm-hmm.
And while I was in my body, I could also see a certain group. So when I was able to leave the body, I was able to associate as I got older, and through the different stages that they showed me and guided me, I went from fear, I went from abductee to becoming a contactee, because I was able to change my perception, change the programming that we were given, and able to say, okay, now I feel safe enough within myself to have a conversation and find some sort of awareness, some sort of level of trust on these other beings that were there. They come in, they let me know they're coming in by, when you get to a certain understanding of frequency, it's like somebody ringing your front bell.
Would you say that there are beings around all of us?
Absolutely.
But we're just the majority of us can't perceive them.
It's not about a perception of seeing them or feeling them, because our body feels them. It gives us symptoms and signals, but the programs and influences that are out there are so strong that as soon as you start to feel like something is showing itself to you, something else will come in more powerful and suddenly redirect you, and that is gone.
Are the majority of the beings that are out there benevolent?
Because I'm here, because I've seen what I've seen, yes, absolutely. You're going to get those that take advantage of the situation because they are aware of how to use the frequency against those that aren't aware. Yeah. I mean, these beings are around us 24/7. You walk outside, you walk inside, you create your atmosphere, you create your space around you. And that space will only allow certain frequencies in. This comes right down to your family and who they allow in. There's tribal traditions, there's, ancient traditions that say, take your footwear off at the door. There's reasons behind it. Give appreciation to each meal you receive and intake because it's coming from somewhere else. It's information that you are putting into you. And everything that we do has an impact on our environment. And our environment is multidimensional. Okay, so you've got to learn to take responsibility for everything that you do. That way you're not going to have a huge karma stamp for this time round.
So what are those beings that are around us doing? I don't think our
Watching
lives
us.
you wouldn't think are we really that interesting for them to hang around and watch what we're up to?
We're here, and that's what makes it interesting. When was the last time you went out and saw a bird and smiled that it was flying? When did you look at a bug and feel that panic and that fear because somebody else is programming, but you felt it, you saw it? Where everything that I've been through, all the patterns and everything that has shown itself has basically said, this is gathering data, this is gathering experiences, this is gathering your emotional connections. What this vessel also does as a generator, receiver, a sender of information and frequency, it picks it up and it makes a chemical exchanges and how we adapt ourselves to each new frequency that comes in, each new presence that comes within our fray. It's fantastic, this adventure that we have decided to take in these bodies, in these vessels, as the beings of light energy, wherever we come from. I don't know nothing, okay, and I'm happy to say that I don't know shit. I'm an adventurer, and now I'm aware of, okay, things are making a little bit more sense than they used to. I've had walk-ins come in. I suffer from night terrors.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the common man would recognize as a label. But for me, I see it as I am accessing different dimensions because I've had signals, orbs come in and let me know that there's going to be contact. You're going to have a night terror, blah, blah, blah. And then I go into it. I've got recordings of me going into these different states. The main recording I got was us as humans on this side, emotional, empathic, feeling state people, will hear it as somebody going through a state of trauma. Mm-hmm. Me being in the actual, incident as it's going on, I'm standing there talking to a tall white grey, and we're in a tube, and there is no fear. There's nothing bad going on. He's actually asking me if I have questions. And because I'm unaware of what his mission was at that particular time, I don't know what to ask him, but I still ask him stuff. But on the exterior, you can actually hear a conversation going on, but it doesn't make any real common sense because it's that tube that I'm in that changes the frequency on over here. So I've gone outside. I live rural. There's no lights. There's no street lights. There's no neighbors. Yeah.
That's good.
Just space around me, And I get a lot of different vegetations and stuff. If I go outside, I can sit there for a couple of minutes and then I can start seeing the ether undulating around me. And that is a buildup of so many life force essence.
Did you say that you have photographs of these beings?
I have photographs, I have videos, I have all sorts. I have many witnesses to it.
Do you have a photograph you can screen share with us of a being?
Yeah, let let me find something. Okay, let me just
So
clear my
you
screen.
will say that there are ETs walking around on the planet with us, right?
Absolutely.
You've met them.
Absolutely, 100%.
You have communicated. You've met with them face to face.
Yes, I have. Yes, I have. I'm not alone.
But it sounds like you're not afraid when you meet them face to face, right?
Oh, look, I still get the heebie-jeebies.
Wow.
Okay, I still get the heebie-jeebies because it's like there are some that I'm very, very familiar with. We have regular encounters. I know when they're coming into my space zone, da da da. But then there are those that are also unfamiliar to me that step in. They're familiar from that particular dimension, okay? But then they step in, and it's like, okay, you're going to walk down the street and somebody's going to suddenly stop and talk to you. You go into a, okay, hi, protective state, know your surroundings, da da da. It's the same when these other beings come in. So, okay, well, who are you? Why were you sent here? You know, you have to, you know, with whatever comes in, no matter how familiar you are with them, you've got to make sure you have your boundaries and your protocols and your personal codes in place so that they don't take advantage of you. They are no different to what we've got here on Earth right now, okay? The goods, the bads, the cons, you know, the whole works of them. They are the way they are because they are the way they are out here too. Does that make sense? And I've got some pictures on my desktop. Where do you want me to send them?
No, what I'm going to do is I'm going to allow you to share screen.
Oh, I'm sorry, everybody. But my desktop's clean.
All right.
All right, here we go.
So I allowed you to share screen.
Wait a minute, I'll just open up. I'm open up my main one first. All right,
hopefully now we will see some real life. Now, are there also... I'm assuming there are also ETs that look humanoid like we do, and you would never get.
Absolutely, yes, there are. Yes, there are. All right, I'm not sure what you're seeing.
I see.
On
it
your
looks
screen.
like on the top left a couple of light beings.
Yes.
And I see orbs everywhere.
Yep. I first started really realizing that these things I could capture them on camera. Other people could see them. For a long time, nobody would listen and believe what it was that I was experiencing, all these different kinds of creatures and blah, blah, blah. But I was the crazy kid, you know. So then I got given a camera, and wow, if I could see it, I wanted to take a photo of it to see if others could see what I could see in the photo. If I could see it in the photo, then somebody else could see it, you know. So anyway, this is where it's come from. So I first, this here in the center, can you see my cursor? I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm not
it
sure
looks
what
like
you
you
can
see a face, almost like a gray.
Okay, that is my regular gray alien off-world visitor that comes in. No name, just friendly. I just call everything friendly.
And
for a very long time, I got this back in about 2000, between 2008 to 2010.
How does he appear to you?
Like that.
I mean, does he come in as you think he's a physical being, or looks kind of more like energetic?
Definitely. He's very physical. He's like us. He's solid form. Solid form. He has our conscious awareness and stuff. But then at the same time, they also have what we are going into, which is the clones of ourselves. So they have the clone greys, as well as, you know, we're building clone humans. But for a long time, I thought, and this is how our perception changes, we got to allow ourselves to make mistakes because it's just a form of growth. Okay, it's just a form of where you've got your growth patterns from and the frequency around you. So for a long time, I believed it was just one guy, just right here. You see his mouth, his chin, his nose, his eyes, his big forehead. Now, as technology has evolved, if you look closer, there is a circle right around here, very sharp circle. I've put it into other programs to have a look myself. I'm not savvy on the new technology, but I'm trying to get there. But on the side, I found two new other ones. There are two new other ones. He did not have pointy long ears like I believed for years. What it turned out to be was two others of his like on each side of him looking through a window. Okay. Now
before you go to before you go to the next picture, and you can just answer very quickly. What is your take on those ETs that they rolled out in Mexico that look like?
I don't believe them. You know, I've done a couple of interviews, and you know, I really did look into them. I would really love to believe that they were real, but there's just that little niggling inside me that's just saying, yeah, no, come on. If this was a real being in this day and age, if we are to get a being of any species that is long past, you know, we would open them up and we would look for all the organs and everything and work out how it works. Now, I'm an ex-phlebotomist, lab technician. I worked in genetics with bloods, working out what illnesses people had, and that, you know, and I started getting my hand slapped when I was seeing stuff changing. So anyway, that's a little my background, my professional background. But
sorry to interrupt you. Let's see these two. These look like energy beings.
Okay, so what it was I'm sitting in bed. This is one of the events that was so close to me that I'll never forget one part of it. Now, if you have a look at the light energy on the other side and the light energy down by the letterbox, that one there and that one there are the same. Not saying it's the same being, I'm just saying it's the same energy form that comes in. Now, I see a lot of orange, red plasma spheres. We'll see them all over the world. They've followed me for ages. They know when I see them, vice versa. They like to show up at events, great gatherings, like anything that has fireworks or fires, bonfires, or just major gatherings of good energy around them. They'll show up. And then what happened was, over a period of years, these energies were coming in. We followed them around. We watched them go up inside another ship, and the ship morphed so you couldn't see it like that anymore. It just looked like a cloud. But if you could recognize it once, just for me personally, I see it once, I can see them cloaked, floating around like a cloud. Right? Wow. There's things that happen within that give me that pattern, you know, recognition. This came through the roof one day. These guys there came through the roof one day. I was sitting in my bed waiting. My partner had gone out for a jog as a regular, you know, practice. And this light energy force came through the room on the side of me, and it came down. I've got my light on. It's you know, I'm awake. I'm sitting up in bed. I've got a flatmate in his own room, and I'm just waiting for my partner to come home. And this energy comes down, and I'm watching it come through the roof. And then it moves down the side of the bed, the right-hand side of the bed, to the foot of the bed. And then it splits, as you can see in that picture up here. This picture is a recreation. I've got a whole set of them that I've turned into a GIF of what it was that I experienced that evening. Now, they split into two, showing me a more masculine male form and a shorter, what I felt was a feminine presence. And then it remorphed back into one taller male forming presence. And it came up, it went right across the foot of the bed and up the left-hand side. And now it's looking straight at me as this big presence. It's taken up the whole room. The light energy that took up the whole room, I thought, okay, I'm dying. I must be going through so I'm dying here. Or it is like, I'm going to go blind from seeing the light energy that I'm seeing. My skin's not on fire, so therefore the house is not on fire. I've been in a room where the room was on fire, and that's another story for, you know, that's a paranormal one. And then this being leant right over the top of me, and I could not move, but I wasn't in any form of fear. There was no fear factor. It was almost like I knew them, but I couldn't quite establish what or where. Anyway, this male entity started to take on this skin-like human texture from the shoulders up the neck. It formed all the facials, and when it got to the eyebrows, I freaked out. I lost it. I lost the plot. I let out a blood-curdling scream, according to my flatmate, and I bolted out of the room screaming and got to the front door. And once I got there, my partner walked in through the front door. My partner at the time, if he was jogging, that the facial recognition that I saw was his. And I went into a state of panic, thinking that my partner had been in some sort of accident, and what I was experiencing was his soul coming back to let me know. But it wasn't. Over the years, the other information that these guys, because they come in regularly now, the information that they shared with me was they were tapping into a familiar, comfortable feature that I would be fine with, that I could communicate with.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, it was absolutely buzzy experience. But
looks like a picture
it's
down
like
in the...
all of the experiences that these guys have with me, it's not just a one space area. It grows with time, and more is revealed to us through time. So write those diaries, keep those journals, keep those pictures, because more will show up as it goes through the process.
Now, is there just an overlay, or, you have this picture in the middle that looks like something out in the forest and looks like you're seeing a tombstone?
Yes. Oh my goodness. I was going through a stage there where I was just jogging, and the cleanest place, because I have OCD, I have issues, I have frequency issues. And I like to jog through the graveyard. I always take my camera with me because things show up every day. And I saw a gravestone, and when I asked my friend, can you see that? And they told me what they saw, and they couldn't see it. So I asked them, look through the camera, and they still couldn't see it. So I took a photo of it, and then we walked over there, we walked around it and stuff. There's nothing there. All you can actually see in the walk is this gravestone here, right? There's nothing. There's bushes and stuff. Anyway, it turned out that there was a whole line of where they classed the worst kind of person, the deeds that they committed at the time, and there was a borderline, and their graves were on that side. And it turned out that this was just one of those that showed up. It's not there. You can't see it when you go to the graveyard. But to me, that is definitely a headstone. So it's on the files that there was something there. Same with the hangman tree and other fun stuff.
Well, that bottom corner, you have thousands of orbs surrounding you on the bottom right.
That's when I first actually acknowledged that something had come in and was communicating.
That's amazing.
So I get daytime, nighttime orbs the same as this. It doesn't, I've got a friendly down underneath the head of the beings in the center. That's me. On the true picture, when it's blown up, you can see that there's one orb, and it is circling me. It circles me 4 times. It's the camera over the years can pick up one orb at least 7 times. The amount of footage I've got of them flying around, coming into play, I've got them morphing into a little being by the curtain in the corner. It's absolutely crazy, some of the things that I've seen. But I see it as, if this is my reality now, you guys are going to have so much fun, surely. I did apologize right at the start.
Do you believe that we live in a matrix simulation realm?
Yeah, I do. I do. I mean, doing the work that I did with the bloods and you know, seeing the Mandela effect and knowing what I've experienced in this lifetime, the different belief systems and practices that I've done, you know, we are by design. We have you know, our DNA, our RNA is so much information inside it. There's a certain part of it where we wake up to it and we're always gathering information right from when we come in. We're gathering information, and this information is harvested throughout different stages of us being here. The chaotic states that come in, it's all by design. And once we can recognize the programs that are being run around us, that we grew up with and believed in, and we start reforming, reprogramming ourselves. You know, we've got to deprogram ourselves from the fact that certain things have happened. Conscious awareness has kicked in. Yeah. They will show up. You clear out your frequencies and you will realize and see that you've got beings around you all the time. And some of the people that you interact with will also have beings that interact with those beings. All right. There's new ones that come in as well. So absolutely matrix.
Now you have the one picture of the orb in the top right. Yeah, that one's pretty sharpened image, pretty detailed, that orb.
Oh, there's more to that. Oh, it's so fantastic. This is okay, we'll start with the one that you're talking about. This is a ship. This is a dimensional ship.
That's a window with it or something that you see that
it is opened up. What it does is when it comes into, it has to recognize the energy. It will pull the energy from the atmosphere surroundings that it's in, and we play a role in that. And then it will hatch. And the hatching is basically when it lets a being come out inside a smaller ship to become more solidified. I've got a lot of photos like this where they're different colors. My favorite is a blue. I've got a blue one where it comes out the side and you can actually see the entity, how it has come in here, traveled through, left the force field. You can see the force field from the ship. You can see another line there, and it has come out and it's hovering here, and you can actually see it looking back at me.
If you looked at this ship with the naked eye, how big is this thing?
It's just a dot. When they come in, when I first started seeing orbs, it was, I don't know, back in the 1990s, and I would see this little flash at the corner of my eye, and I would turn to look at it, and it was gone. And I'd see them all the time. I went and had my eyes tested and asked, am I going blind? Is there something wrong with me? Because when I was 5, I crashed into a concrete lamppost. So, another story for another time. And then I started going, okay, well, I'm seeing these all the time. Everybody's telling me I'm okay, but I'm still seeing these things. What are they? And then one day I saw one and I just decided to ignore it. Watch it with my peripheral. And as I did that, I got to see it move. So I knew it wasn't just a flash of light. Wow. Now what I worked out was they come in as a flash of light. That's when we recognize the energies here. And then they move around, gathering and picking up other energy around us. So I was able to start following them. And I practiced this for a while. And when I was given a camera, I'd go, okay, well, I just saw a flash, and I carry this camera everywhere. It's right there. I can pick it up right now. But I would carry this camera with me. So if I saw something, it would be keeping myself in a particular state of awareness so I could see it as it moved and where it was moving to. And I could down here at the same time, pick up the camera and turn it on and not be distracted, and then take a video or a photo. And this is how it began. So this is, yeah. And then I started seeing more. I started seeing how they came in. One flash ended up being a whole row of hundreds of these orbs, but the orbs, like the ones down around me, they turned out to be a synthetic, or as we know them, cloned form. So like I said, like the greys got cloned, the humans get cloned, the dimensional orbs get cloned, and it is to harvest the energy so they can manifest in our 3D form, 3D range, so we could communicate with them.
Wow.
So at the other one in the other corner, that's my friendly. He lives with me 24/7. I don't know if it's a male or female, but there's, I call it a he. It's always there. They have warned me of danger on certain persons. I've got a whole set of photos of, I was having a party one night, and one of my guests there was freshly released from prison, and I was unaware of this at the time. And this particular orb came in and it went around the whole crowd. You could see it going around the whole crowd, and then you see it come in and change colors, and it's bright red, redder than what you've got on the second photo up the top, and it was letting me know danger. So this particular photo down the bottom has an exclamation mark in it. At that particular stage, it was teaching me with the bigger picture. There's a bigger picture to it where I'm sitting there, and I've got a guest with me, and my guest takes a photo, and that's what turns out right next to me. And it was asking me through our alphabet what's going on. Couldn't understand what was going on. So over a period of time, I got photos of it showing me that it shows numbers, exclamation marks, question marks. It's showing that it can read our alphabet to communicate with me at that particular time.
Stone Hobbit, let me do this. I am sorry. I'm going to stop your sharing. I have to move.
All good.
Hold on one sec. Let me turn my video back on. I have to move along because I'm trying to keep my podcast on time and finishing on time. And I got one more guest real quick before I go, but I hope you come back and share more with us. And if people want to find out about your channel and your podcast, how do they find you?
Just look up Stone Hobbit. If you don't have a crazy photo like this, well, it's not me. I've got orbs and things, ghosts, you name it. I've got, my email is stonehobbit2, that's the number 2, at gmail.com. My webpage, if you want to look at some of my freaky stuff, is stonehobbit.com. And I have a weekly, I have a couple of Zoom groups. One is for walk-ins. We're just starting one up this week.
Cool.
For walk-ins, OBEs, NBEs, you name it. Those,
do you have
when
a
you
Discord
step
as well?
outside of your body. I plan to, but I've got to learn how to use it again.
All right. Well,
I need a teacher.
It's pretty easy. Well, if you want, you're welcome to join ours, and then you can let people know about yours. You just go to Discord, get your free profile. Then in my description is a link to mine. But you can get.
I've clicked on it.
Okay.
I've just got to refresh it. But thank you.
Thank you. It was a pleasure meeting you.
Letting me share.
It was a pleasure meeting you. Come back again. I hope to see you again. You have amazing content.
Anytime, sweetheart. Thank you for doing what you're doing. Cheers, roomies.
All right. Bye-bye. All right. And a big round of applause for Stone Hobbit. All right. I'll talk. Well, George just got here, and it's 9:29, and I think I'm going to go ahead and finish up. George, I am so sorry, but I'm trying to stay on time. Started at 7:30, and I've got to I used to let it go forever, but I found that I need to stay on time, and it just works out better for me that way personally. And so I apologize for not bringing you on. I really appreciate you, George, and I hope you will come back next week. We will be here. So, all right, guys, we're going to get that We have a video tomorrow of you, as I said, of a woman had an NDE from drowning. I hope you guys check it out. I did post one today about magic. Remember a couple weeks ago or so, I asked you if you guys were interested in magic. And I had a great epiphany when talking to this guy that, you know, he was talking about doing magic to manifest or doing rituals to manifest and doing rituals to have an out of body. And I felt like kind of magic was like a physical way of manifesting it. It's really fascinating. And he has some cool pictures because he did 10 places in the world where there are magic sites in the world, and he took pictures of them. So thank you guys so much. I really appreciate you guys coming and checking out our content. We love you guys. Have a great weekend. God bless you and